Hi there, my name is Victoria Muir-Bercia, and today I'm going to be taking you through why it's important to practice letting go and through a short, easily done meditation that you can do that really helps us let go of what we need to let go of and is very, very impactful. So first of all, why is it important to practice letting go? And what does that mean? Have you ever met anybody that when you instantly see them, you feel heavy? Or maybe there's a person in life that when you instantly see them, you know that you're going to feel better about yourself. Can you think about a person that affects you that way? Or maybe an animal? Or maybe sometimes you've been that person. Personal energy is something that we all carry with us. And if you don't believe that it's something that we exude and give to other people, just think about your pets. Think about an animal that you've had in your life. How do they know what kind of mood we're in without us telling them? They don't speak our language. They don't speak English, right? They don't speak our language. But how does your dog or your cat know when you come in the house if you need a cuddle or if you need to be playful? That's personal energy, and that's what we carry with us. And it can have a profound effect on us or those around us. And so it's important to practice releasing the emotions or feelings or experiences that we've had that might be weighing us down, that might feel heavy. When we don't practice releasing or practice letting go on a regular basis in a way we can control it, we may practice discharging without even knowing it. So what is discharging? Discharging is when we hold down our emotions or we avoid them and it comes out anyways. The body and the brain want to release anyways. So we might yell at the cashier at the grocery store. We might be really out of balance one day in our body and trip on the sidewalk on nothing. We might break something, or we might cry uncontrollably at a TV commercial, right? Discharging is when things come out and we can't control them. And ultimately, sometimes when we discharge, we may end up hurting ourselves or hurting those around us. And then we get into a guilt shame of trying to repair that hurt that's happened. So when we practice releasing, we find that we suffer less from fear of the past, fear of the future, emotional ties, frustration with others, struggles with loss, and also making decisions out of fear. So fear-based decision making. If you practice letting go, you'll find that you'll be more open to opportunities, and you'll find that your mindset will think, instead of what's the worst thing that could happen, what's the best thing that could happen? And it can help you naturally have a better mindset or a healthier mindset. So today, I would like to teach you a little bit of the method about letting go, and an easy way that you can do just by coming back to this video and watching it or doing it on your own. And there's a couple things you need to know about letting go and the brain, the body, and the mind. And when I talk about the brain and the mind, I'm talking about the same thing. They are the same thing. Okay, so the mind, the brain, and the body. One thing is, before you start to check in with yourself, you always want to make sure that you've met your basic physiological needs. Anytime you want to check in with yourself to do a meditation, a visualization, to just even talk to yourself, you want to check in on your physiological needs. And why do we do that? The brain can't focus if our basic physiological needs aren't met. So I'd like you to just close your eyes for 1 minute, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions. The first one is food. Are you hungry? Is your tummy rumbling? The second one is water. Are you hydrated? Are you dehydrated? Or are you overhydrated? Here's some signs. If your lips are chapped or your mouth is dry, you probably need to grab a glass of water. If you have to pee, you should go to the bathroom, because you can't focus on anything if you have to go to the bathroom, right? That's overhydration. And we want to make sure that your mind is in a place where it can really focus on this letting go routine. Next, I want you to check on your body temperature. Are you comfortable in your clothing? Are you too hot? Are you too cold? Do you need to grab a sweater? Do you need to take a sweater off? And also pay attention to your clothing if there's anything that might irritate you. Have you ever been sitting trying to listen to someone and you have a tag in the back of your neck and it's just itchy, 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 and you can't focus on anything else other than that itchy tag on your t-shirt, right? So check in on your clothing. The next thing I'd like you to do is make sure that you're in a safe space. Do you feel comfortable in the space you're in? Maybe you want to grab a pillow to hug to feel comforted. If the window's open, maybe you want to close it. Maybe you want to light a scented candle. So make sure that you're in safe shelter or a safe place. Shelter doesn't necessarily mean that you're inside. You could be outside under a tree and you might feel perfectly safe there too. So just make sure that you feel that you're in a comforting place where you'll be able to close your eyes and feel safe with your eyes closed. And the last physiological need is sleep. So just ask yourself, how well did I sleep last night? And now we can't fix that one right away, but what we can do is if you're tired in your body, if you're fatigued in your body, make sure that you are sitting or lying in a comfortable position when you do this meditation. So maybe lying on the bed, lying on the couch, or sitting in a really comfy armchair with a pillow under your head or a pillow that you're hugging. So let me review this again. We want to check in on our basic physiological needs because if they aren't met, the brain doesn't feel safe and it won't be able to participate in mindfulness or meditation. So the basic physiological needs are food, water, clothing or body temperature, your physical space or shelter, and the last one is sleep, or exhaustion or fatigue, or just how we feel in our body. So you want to check in on those and make sure that you can resolve them so that you're telling your brain, hey, I'm in a safe place and I really want to focus on doing some inner work right now. I really want to focus on doing some deep changes and talking to my brain and talking to my body and my mind and my spirit. So if you need to, pause this video, go and alleviate your physiological needs and make sure that they're all met and come on back. Now, what we're going to do for our meditation today is a visualization. And the reason we do visualizations for letting go is because the brain loves stories, color, using imagination. And the other thing is studies tell us, and I think this is so cool, that when we visualize inside our brain actually thinks it's happened. Or our brain thinks it's happened as practice. It's a way to practice and actually create neurological pathways in our brains for actions, attitudes, and behaviors without going out in the world and doing it where you might not feel ready or might not feel safe. So we love using visualizations because it's a great way to program the brain, or it's a great way to develop new thought patterns in the brain, because that's how we do it as children. Think about a child. When their brain is developing, they're imagining, they're using color, they're using their body, they're running around, jumping, and they might be really focused on that imagination. That is a tool of the brain and of the human body to program the brain. So we use visualization in our letting go meditation. The other thing we do is right at the beginning, we're just going to do 2 minutes of quiet. And the reason we do 2 minutes of quiet is so that you can listen inwardly. I don't want you to listen to the sounds on the outside, if the cat's meowing in the background or the birds are chirping outside. I want you to listen inside and see what your inner voice says. Because your inner voice is your subconscious brain telephoning you. It's telling you what's going on for you. And if you don't take that time every day, just 2 minutes of quiet to listen, you might not know what your brain is thinking, what your subconscious brain is processing or thinking for you. And if we don't know what that is, it's going to guide our actions, attitudes, and behaviors anyway. So if we listen to it, we can then have a say and have a communication with the subconscious part of our brain and plant seeds in it about what we want our actions, attitudes, and behaviors to be. We get to choose how we guide ourselves. So that 2 minutes of quiet, we'll start with that. And then We're going to come in to about a 15-minute meditation today, and it will be a letting go visualization. Okay, so I want you to go find a comfortable spot, take this video with you, and I want you to either lie down or sit up and close your eyes, and we're going to start our meditation. We're going to start with just breathing. Just pay attention to your breathing. Let it be whatever it is. Whatever it is natural, and that's good for you. And I want you to find the contact points on your body that are contacting with the floor or with the bed or the couch, wherever you may be. Find those points of contact. Maybe it's your head on the pillow, your shoulders on the mattress, your feet on the floor. If you're sitting up, your bum on your seat. And just sink into those points of contact. Take a deep breath in. And just let yourself sink down into those points of contact. And just know that the earth is always supporting you, that you are always in a safe place because gravity is always holding on to you on those points of contact. The earth is holding you in the palm of its hand, and you can sink down into those points of contact and be safe. And say to yourself, it is safe to breathe. It is safe to explore. It is safe to talk to myself. I'm now going to give you 2 minutes of silence, and I want you to listen inwardly. Listen to that voice on the inside and see if anything comes up for you. Maybe reflect on the past week. Is there anything that you've been worrying about? Anything you're feeling resistance towards? Or maybe there's something you're proud of. Just take 2 minutes to listen to that inner voice and let your subconscious brain telephone you. Okay, I'd like you to bring your focus to the top of your head. And to your face. Wiggle your eyebrows. Make sure that your eyebrows aren't furrowed. Just release them. Wiggle your nose. And just release it. Make sure it's relaxed. Bring your attention to your mouth. Is your tongue stuck to the roof of your mouth? Are your teeth touching? Is your jaw clenched? Open up your mouth inside. Release that tongue and just let your jaw release. Now I'd like you to shrug your shoulders. Shrug them down. Make sure they are attached in their pockets, nice and relaxed in their pockets. Bring your focus down your arms. Wiggle your fingers, clench your hands, release them, let them relax. Bring your focus down your body. Just sink into your breathing. You bring focus down your legs, all the way to your toes. Clench your toes and release them and wiggle them. Just let them relax. Take another breath and sink down into this relaxed state. I'd like you to imagine that you're standing in a beautiful forest. And you know that this is the forest of your mind. Look around. What do you see? What do the trees look like? What do you smell? What do you hear? What does it feel like under your feet? Maybe there's a breeze. What colors do you see? Just acknowledge that you know that this is a safe place and it feels beautiful and wondrous to you. You look down, you see there's a trail, and you start to walk along this trail in this beautiful forest or wooded area. And as you walk, you feel you're able to breathe. You feel grounded. You feel the earth supporting you. And you continue to go on your walk. Just notice all the senses. And as you're walking, you notice that there's some light up in the distance, opening up into a clearing, to a clear area. You walk towards that opening, and you see that it's a meadow, an open meadow. And you step out into that meadow, and you look up. What does the sky look like for you? Is it clear and blue? Is it gray and overcast? And whatever it is for you, that's okay. That's the message your subconscious brain is giving you today. You notice on the other side of the meadow, there's a table. And you walk towards that table. What does your table look like? What is it made out of? Is it made out of wood, of stone? You walk over to this table, and as you get closer, you notice there's some objects on the table. There may be one, there may be a few. And as you look down at these objects, you realize that these objects represent what you would like to let go of today, what you would like to release. And you bend over and you pick up each object one by one. You examine it. How does it feel in your hands? Is it heavy? Is it light? Is it spiky? Is it smooth? And you notice as you interact with each object, slight heaviness in your shoulder, maybe a little bit of heaviness in your energy. And this is verification for you that it's time to let these things go. That you know that they're sitting heavy on you and holding you back. It's time to let them go. And as you place each object back on the table, you notice that there is a cord coming right out of your belly button, attaching you to these objects. What does that cord look like to you? Is it a colorful ribbon? Is it a dark rope? What does it look like for you? What does your imagination bring to you? As you feel that cord tugging on you and these objects tugging on you, you look over to your right on the table and there's a pair of golden scissors. And you immediately know what to do. You pick up those scissors and you cut that cord. And as you cut the cord, it turns into energy and it immediately turns into little tiny pieces and floats away. And you look down at the objects and they start to crumble and disappear. And you watch them disappear until they're absolutely nothing. They've disappeared into the air. And as they're disappearing, you feel that heaviness, that heavy energy release. You feel lighter in your shoulders and in your body and in your mind. And you take a big breath and you sigh. You feel a sense of freedom. As you start to walk away from the table, you notice the table is disappearing as well. One leg falls off and the table thunks. Another leg falls off and the table's uneven. The third and the fourth leg disappear. And then that tabletop thunks to the ground and it disappears as well. And as you're in your meadow, you decide to sit down in the meadow and you feel a warm, glowing light come over you. And now that you've created some space in your mind and your body by releasing these objects and this energy, we want to fill that space with abundance and gratitude. As you're sitting in the meadow and this warm light is coming over you, you start to think about all the things that you have in your life that help you live a fulfilled, satisfied life, that help you interact in community, that support you when you need it. Maybe it's your computer. Maybe it's the internet. Maybe it's your neighbor. Maybe it's as simple as a pen and paper. All of the things that you have in your life that allow you to live comfortably, safely, the water that comes out of your tap, the food you eat. No thing is too small. As you start to list them, you realize you have so much abundance in your life. So many things that you are sure of, that you're certain of. And so many things that you can reach out to when you are in need of support. And as you acknowledge all the abundance you have in your life, you feel a sense of connection, of growth, and the need to contribute. And here we will practice our gratitude for today. Gratitude is about outward contribution. Abundance is about inward and acknowledging what we have. As you're thinking your abundance, a person, place, or thing comes to mind that you would like to focus your gratitude practice on today. Maybe it's a pet or an animal. Maybe it's a place in nature or a specific person. Bring them to your mind. How would you like to make them feel? What would you like to tell them so that they can feel that way? Tell them now. Say to them, may you be well. May you be healthy. May you be supported. May you be fulfilled. I want you to imagine this person, animal, place, or thing. It's right in front of you. And I want you to wrap your arms around yourself. Give yourself a hug and imagine that you're hugging them. Imagine wherever they are on this planet Earth, wherever they may be, wherever it is, that they are feeling this hug. Say to them, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. Release your arms. Take a big breath. Just notice how you feel in your body now. Do you feel lighter? Bring your attention to your face. Slowly wiggle your face. Wake yourself up. Notice if you feel lighter in your shoulders. Bring your focus down your body to your fingers and your toes. Wiggle them. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. The last thing you're going to do before we finish our practice today is I want you to tell yourself or ask yourself how you feel now. Acknowledge this important letting go and releasing work that you've done. And just tell yourself 1 or 2 words about how you feel. This is the last thing the brain is going to remember. And it's going to encourage you and motivate you to continue in your letting go practice, to continue to do it weekly. And you will notice changes with these small and slow solutions. You will notice you discharge less. You will notice more connection, less fear, less stress. Take 1 big breath and let it out with a sigh. Ha. Thank yourself for watching this video. And thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me in this video today. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.